This is the largest wealth transfer in history. Right now, as you're watching this video, trillions of dollars are being moved from the bottom 90% to the top 10%. And even if you're not investing in the stock market, they are indirectly taking your money and transferring it to the top 10%. And if you think that I'm exaggerating, just watch this video very carefully because this might be one of the most important videos you will watch. Because I'm going to explain how exactly they're taking your money to fund the AI bubble. AI has turned into a huge bubble, and a lot of people are wondering when exactly that bubble is going to burst. Now, if you look at the numbers, you'll see that total AI debt this year will surpass $570 billion. And this is just this year. They also borrowed hundreds of billions of dollars last year and the year prior to that. And this is not some kind of a valuation number in the stock market. This is real money that they have borrowed and they spent on building the data centers. And now AI is not making enough money, which means that they don't have the money to pay back the debtors, which means that the entire bubble can easily burst and take down with it the rest of the economy. But here's what most people are not realizing. The people who are creating the AI bubble today are the exact same people who created the dot-com bubble back in 1990s and early 2000s. So they perfectly understand how bubbles work. And this time they have engineered it in such a way that these top 10%, the big tech, are not the ones who will pay the price for this bubble, but people like you who will pay the price for it. And if you think that this is some kind of a conspiracy, then you're making a big mistake because most people have already paid a small portion of it. So we have companies such as OpenAI, Anthropic, and xAI. They raised billions of dollars to buy the GPUs. But unfortunately, these companies are small companies. They're private companies. They can't be borrowing hundreds of billions of dollars to build these data centers. And they're not making that much money in the first place. So here's the strategy they basically came out with. So big tech will borrow the money to buy the GPUs from NVIDIA and will lease them to AI companies. So because Anthropic and OpenAI cannot afford it, we have Microsoft, Oracle, and Amazon. These companies will borrow the money from the lenders because they're huge companies, they have a lot of assets, so they can borrow like $100 billion. They will borrow $100 billion, buy the GPUs from NVIDIA, build the data centers, and then lease these data centers to AI, Anthropic, and OpenAI. Now, OpenAI and Anthropic does not have to spend $100 billion on these data centers, but rather all they have to do is to pay the lease to keep leasing these data centers. So as long as they can afford the cash flow, they can afford keep growing their revenue, keep growing the business, and keep building their data centers. The problem is that if these companies will run out of money, suddenly they won't be able to pay for these GPUs. And if they can't do that, then suddenly all these investments that Amazon, Microsoft, and Oracle have done will be a very bad investment because they won't be able to pay back their debts. And suddenly the entire bubble is going to burst. And that is the biggest problem the economy is facing right now. Amazon this year is about to spend $150 billion on AI. Alphabet will spend $140 billion. Microsoft $110 billion. So in total, just the big tech will spend about $500 billion. So if you take the other companies, that will be far more than $500 billion. And big tech has actually borrowed money to do these investments. So Amazon has borrowed $54 billion for the AI infrastructure. Now, a lot of people don't understand the difference between the numbers they see in the stock market. When you look at the stock market, you have these insane valuations. So these are not real money. So Elon Musk became a trillionaire. Now his valuation is $1 trillion. Now this is $1 trillion on paper. It's not a real $1 trillion money. But in this case, Amazon has borrowed real $54 billion of real debt from real businesses, from real lenders. Now, the $54 billion in cash must be returned to them, plus the interest that Amazon has to pay to them. And Amazon is just one example. Meta has borrowed $25 billion. Oracle has borrowed $18 billion. So you can see that if these hundreds of billions of dollars of investments that they have borrowed to make these investments are not going to pay back, suddenly all these companies will suffer massive losses. Here's another problem is that because there's a limit on how much money they can borrow over here, they started building third parties such as neoclouds, and through them, they're borrowing so much money. Take an example of CoreWeave. CoreWeave is basically a company that was established to borrow money from investors and lenders and the bankers to buy the GPUs from NVIDIA and then lease them to these AI companies. That's all what the company does. The company has borrowed $29 billion. Now, the market cap of the company right now is $100 billion. So think about that for a moment. It has $30 billion and it has a market cap of $100 billion. So imagine this company is basically one huge debt bomb. And we have other examples, such as the second company that borrowed for $4.1 billion and so on and so forth. So essentially, they're trying to find different ways where they can borrow money from investors, from bankers, one way or another to keep building the data centers. Because if they don't do that, then companies such as OpenAI, Anthropic, and xAI, and Perplexity, they won't be able to train their AI and they won't be able to offer their AI. The problem is that these three companies, or these 4 or 5 companies that are selling AI, they're not generating enough revenue. There aren't many people that are ready to pay for AI, especially for ChatGPT and Anthropic. Yes, they're raising a lot of money, but not enough to cover for all of these AI infrastructures. And if you look at McKinsey's projection, then we will be spending up to $6.7 trillion to build these data centers by 2030. So if you take all the spendings that are coming in the next couple of years, that will be almost $7 trillion. Can you possibly comprehend that number? So if these companies that are selling the AI services, if they won't be profitable, then this bubble will just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it can take down the entire global economy. But these people who are running these large companies, they're not stupid. The head of Amazon, the head of Microsoft, the head of NVIDIA, these people are not stupid. They perfectly understand what exactly they're doing. So they basically found a way on how they can take all of this risk and all of these losses, and they will basically pass it down to you, and you, as the average American, will pay the price for it. Now, this sounds like a conspiracy. I perfectly understand that. But unfortunately, it is already happening, and millions of Americans are already paying for that, whether it's willingly or unwillingly. Let me show you how. So because the AI bubble is bursting, here's what we do. We are going to go public. And then when we go public, we offer our shares to the general public. So we are going to raise money to keep renting the GPUs. So OpenAI will go public. It will raise, let's say, $100 billion. So now it has $100 billion to keep renting the GPUs. So the companies such as Amazon and Microsoft that built the data centers will keep receiving the rent for the GPUs so they can keep paying their debts. And if they keep paying their debts, they can borrow more money and buy more GPUs from NVIDIA. And that's why they will keep buying more GPUs until AI is going to become profitable. So this process will basically continue for a couple of years until people start paying for OpenAI, or until ChatGPT, the cost of ChatGPT is going to go so substantially down that the business is going to become profitable. And that's why OpenAI wants to go public this year and raise more than $60 billion. Anthropic wants to raise about more than $60 billion, and each of them has close to $1 trillion valuation. Now here's the question, who exactly is going to buy Anthropic stocks? Who exactly is going to invest in OpenAI? It makes no sense at first, right? But if you actually think about it, they have already found a great strategy to take your money without your permission. So your retirement account will be paying for it. If you are investing in 401k, then your money is being invested in multiple ETFs. And these ETFs are being managed by the huge companies such as Vanguard, BlackRock, Blackstone. So a lot of people don't understand much about investing. So here's how we can raise money. First of all, what we can do is that we can instantly take these AI companies and make them, for example, part of some kind of an index. Let's say the NASDAQ 100. So every single retirement account that invests in the NASDAQ 100 will directly be buying the shares of the OpenAI or Anthropic. So OpenAI and Anthropic will receive this money and they will pay back their debts. So now you are the one who is paying back the debts of OpenAI. You are the one who is paying the debts of Anthropic. The second thing that we can do is that we can simply create a lot of hype around this IPO. So people will get very excited. And because everybody now has access to the stock market, people don't understand valuations. People don't understand how to find the real value of the stocks. Even rich people. There are a lot of rich people who don't understand how to find real valuations. So they will get excited around it and they will buy the stock at its peak. Suddenly, people willingly paid the debts of these AI companies, of this AI bubble. So we have distributed the risk of the AI bubble across the entire economy, so everybody will just feel it slightly. Let me show you how they will do that. SpaceX was a testing ground for it, and SpaceX is a really great example. So a lot of people look at SpaceX and they think about rockets. In reality, SpaceX has nothing to do with rockets. Yes, there is a company called SpaceX, they send rockets, but the true reality of SpaceX today is that it merged with xAI. So in 2023, Elon Musk starts xAI, and xAI is now a company that's supposed to compete with OpenAI and Anthropic. But xAI is a new company. They need billions of dollars to buy these GPUs from NVIDIA, and they don't have the money. And because it's a small private company, nobody is ready to loan money to xAI, billions of dollars, because now NVIDIA is charging astronomical amounts of money for the GPUs. So here's what they did. Valor Capital is basically an early investor in SpaceX. Valor Capital goes in and they borrow $21 billion. So this is an investment firm. They have a good reputation. They have connections. They would go to different kind of investors and large banks. They borrow $21 billion. Now, with these $21 billion, they will buy to NVIDIA and buy the GPUs. So they take the $21 billion, give it to NVIDIA, and receive GPUs worth $21 billion. Now, these GPUs will be leased to xAI. So they will lease them to xAI. Now, xAI doesn't actually need $21 billion to buy them. All they need is to ensure that they can make the monthly lease payments to Valor Capital or Valor Equity. That's it. So now they can use these GPUs to train xAI until xAI is going to become profitable. Now here's what Elon does. He merges xAI with SpaceX. In January of this year, Elon takes xAI and he merges with SpaceX. Now they're one company under the name called SpaceX. So under SpaceX, there is xAI, and xAI is supposed to lease $20 billion worth of GPUs from Valor Capital. If xAI is not going to pay Valor Capital, then Valor Capital is going to go broke. And if Valor Capital is going to go broke, everybody who lent money to Valor Capital is going to lose. So they understand this chain. So they came up with a very simple strategy. Here's what we do. We will take SpaceX public and we will raise a lot of money from your retirement accounts and retail investors, and then we'll pay $21 billion to Valor Capital so that Valor Capital can pay back its investors and the people who lend them the money. So they take SpaceX public. Because now SpaceX valuation is $1.8 trillion, it instantly becomes part of multiple indexes, such as the NASDAQ 100. NASDAQ 100 pays a lot of money. NASDAQ 100 buys a lot of stocks of SpaceX, which means that if your retirement account invests in the NASDAQ 100, suddenly you invested in SpaceX at a huge $2 trillion valuation. Here is another example. BlackRock places $5 billion order for SpaceX IPO. So BlackRock manages multiple ETFs. So when you're investing in your retirement account and you're investing in an actively managed ETF, this ETF is managed by some professional investors. And this actively managed ETF will basically buy the IPO. Suddenly, because your retirement account invests in this ETF is buying the shares of IPO and you don't even know about it. SpaceX takes $21 billion out of all the money that it actually raised from this IPO and it pays it to Valor Equity. Now, Valor Equity received their money, and now Valor Equity can pay back its debtors. Suddenly, all that debt was paid by you. Now, Valor Equity, because they paid back their debts, they can raise more money, buy more GPUs, and lease them to XAI again, or SpaceX in this case. The second thing they did is that they created so much hype around SpaceX that retail investors invested in SpaceX about $17 billion because so many people were excited about the SpaceX IPO. And now, because they tested the system and it perfectly worked with SpaceX and XAI, they want to do the exact same thing with Anthropic, and they want to do the exact same thing with OpenAI. Once we sell the stocks, once we raise tens of billions of dollars, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, then the stock is going to tank. And everybody who purchased the stock at its peak is going to lose a lot of money. But wait a second, who is in his sane mind is going to buy the stock at its peak? Well, Elon Musk has already tested this system multiple times and it worked perfectly. Look at Tesla's stock price. The stock rises from $200 up to $400. So the stock doubles, and there are people who actually buy the stocks at $407. Then the stock collapses literally by 70% to as low as $113. There are people who purchased the stock at $400, and there are people who sold the stocks at around $113. These are primarily retail investors who don't understand much about investing. And then the stock rises again by about 122%. There are people who buy the stock at $274. And then the people who purchased the stock at $123, for example, they sold them there. So there is massive sell-off of the stock and the stock completely collapses. And the same thing happens in cycles. Over and over and over. And every single time that you see that the price skyrockets, the price right after that collapses. Because every single time something like that is happening, there is a massive transfer of wealth that is happening. And you will see that the exact same thing is going to happen to SpaceX stocks. Every single time there is going to be a massive surge in the price of SpaceX, SpaceX is going to raise a lot of money and the stock is going to crash. And sometime later, when the stock reaches its bottom, there is going to be another hype around the stock and the stock is going to rise again and SpaceX will sell a lot of its stocks. The same thing will be done by OpenAI, the same thing will be done by Anthropic. So they can keep borrowing hundreds of billions of dollars to build the data centers, and when the time will come to pay back the debts, they will simply raise that money from you because you don't understand much about investing, you don't understand valuations, and you don't understand at what price you have to buy the stocks. And this is the biggest wealth transfer. The average people who don't understand much about investing are paying the price for the AI bubble, while the top 5% or the top 10% are making all the money in the world. So if you want a step-by-step strategy on how you find valuations, on how you know which stocks you should be buying, on how you know at which price you should be buying the stocks, then you can jump on one-on-one call with my team that will help you to get the right systems in place that will help you to find valuations very quickly and make the best possible investing decisions. The link is in the description of this video.